let's look at it from this perspective. Why will Arsenal try to revamp their whole midfield that actually contested and competed with Man City in one window? I'm sorry. Xhaka is on the verge of leaving Arsenal. Why will Arsenal sanction an exit for both Xhaka and Partey in one season and replace him with a Lavia? No disrespect on Lavia, he's a good player, he's young, he doesn't have the experience. Yeah, playing for Southampton and looking outstanding there doesn't mean he can do the same job as a starter at Arsenal. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not just saying it because I don't like the news. Some of you accuse, oh, because you don't like the news, so that's why I'm contesting against it. No, no, no. Yes, I don't like the news. You have a point. But on second thought, common sense should be common these days, even though it's not common. Why will Arteta? Welcome back on today's transfer rumors and shenanigans. We're going to talking Partey, Lavia, lHavertz, and Declan Rice. If you like my content, make sure you stick a like on the video. Very, very important for the growth of the channel and the algorithm. Do not forget to subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. And make sure you may turn on your notification bells. Very, very important. So let's start with Partey. According to Fabrizio, Arsenal will entertain the possibility of a Partey exit this season. Now, when I saw the story, a few hours or minutes ago, I just scoffed and laughed at it. Like, I know Fabrizio is a transfer guru. He gets most of the story right. Yeah, I give that to him. But I'm sorry, when it comes to this news, I have huge skepticism and I have my reservations and doubt about it. Now, aside from that, when it comes to news regarding Partey, I'd rather believe or wait for Dave Ornstein to report on that, or Charles Watts. Let's not forget, Charles Watts was the first person to break the news regarding Partey, Arsenal triggering the buyout or release clause a few years ago. When it comes to injuries, Dave Ornstein always be the first one to actually break the news regarding Partey. So I'm sorry, Fabrizio, he gets most of his news right, but sometimes he gets some wrong. And I love his choice of words, trying to cover his tracks, saying could, possibility. Like possibility, there's a possibility I could win a lottery. That's not probability. There's a possibility I could buy a Ferrari tomorrow. That is not a probability. So I understand him trying to cover his rear guard by using very interesting words. Like, let's look at it from this perspective. Why will Arsenal try to revamp their whole midfield that actually contested and competed with Man City in one window? I'm sorry. Xhaka is on the verge of leaving Arsenal. Why will Arsenal sanction an exit for both Xhaka and Partey in one season and replace him with a Lavia? No disrespect on Lavia, he's a good player, he's young, he doesn't have the experience. Yeah, playing for Southampton and looking outstanding there doesn't mean he can do the same job as a starter at Arsenal. I'm sorry. Now, I'm not just saying it because I don't like the news. Some of you accuse, oh, because you don't like the news, so that's why I'm contesting against it. No, no, no. Yes, I don't like the news. You have a point. But on second thought, common sense should be common these days, even though it's not common. Why will Arteta, Edu, Richard Garlick, who are trying to build a formidable team to compete in the Champions League and in the English Premiership, sanction exit for two of their key midfielders of this season, Xhaka and Partey, and bring in two fresh midfielders of Declan Rice and Lavia? I'm sorry, he doesn't make sense to me. No, no, no. I'm sorry. I know Jorginho came in January, did the same job, but you can't just do that. Now, I'm not saying teams might not be inquiring in the background about Partey. It's possible. The only way I see this deal coming to fruition is if somebody actually offers like 50 million pounds, 40 million pounds for Partey, then you could look at it that, okay, Partey is in his early 30s, is winding a little bit. Now you can take, I will understand why Arsenal to take that and reinvest it. But you're offering 20 million pounds, 30 million pounds. Partey is worth more than that to us in this team than the 30 million pounds or 35 million pounds. We are going to be playing in the Champions League and in the league. We need all the experience and all the quality to continue to progress, not make retrogressive moves. I'm sorry, even though it's from Fabrizio, you have to apply logic. You have to look at the story and look at the wordings and the context. Fabrizio, I like him, but I'll be looking in between the kind of words he'll be using. When Fabrizio has concrete news, you can tell the wordings he uses compared to could and possibilities. Like, see, for any player on earth, there's just possibilities. But the key word is, what are the probabilities? So let's move from Partey to Lavia. The links to Lavia has been getting more intense and intense. Now it looks like there's something there, but I'm not overly convinced Arsenal will get it done or Arsenal will get Lavia. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I'm not overly convinced Arsenal will do Lavia. Now, Declan Rice is our first choice, and we're supposed to be in for Caicedo. You know my remarks and my commentary regarding Caicedo. I said it before the transfer window started that there is no chance Arsenal is going to go for Caicedo and Rice in one window. It's not financially sensible or feasible. I don't care if you are going to accuse the Kroenkes of penny pinching. No, you can't do that. Let's be sensible and logical. We are not owned by a nation state. Like all this nonsense of they are billionaires, just spend the money. I'm not buying that nonsense. Sometimes you want people to give you good graces when there's inflation all over the world. Most of us are trying to live within a budget. Most of us are trying to tailor our priorities right. But when it comes to these billionaires, it's their billionaires, go and spend the money. If it was that easy, why don't you make the money and do the same thing? Or your parents or your generation should have done the same thing. Let's stop this nonsense narratives that we do on the internet. It's easy to just talk the talk. If you want graces to be extended to you, extend the same grace to other people. Like we want other parts of the team to invest in. For us to now invest in excess of £200 million on 2 players in one season, understand the kind of owners we have. I'm not falling for that trap. You are not going to bait me with, we should have our standard. Arsenal is a big club. Buy a big club. Why not buying everything possible? Remember, you're a big club, even bigger than Arsenal. Why are they not spending all kinds of money? Because it's not financially feasible. So the Lavia deal, links rather, looking at it, I'm like, there's a possibility there, but I don't see the probability. I don't see it. See, no matter how much this tier 2 or tier 1 some of the time reports it, if Dave Ernestine, who I respect much, has not actually talked about it in concrete terms, I take it with a picture. So, because let's see, people don't understand. This is life. Arsenal will talk to multiple agents and players. That doesn't mean Arsenal are keen on moving to the next level with those deals. So the fact that Fabrizio comes in and tells you about this or other Platigo tells about doesn't mean there's something there. But the likes of Kai Havertz, the likes of Declan Rice, we can see all the journalists from David Ornstein, Fabrizio, Platigo, Dimasio, all are called there's a synergy amongst how they report those transfer links. You can see there's something there. But when it comes to Lavia, when it came to Caicedo, there was no consistency in those reporting. So can we please apply common sense? Even as fans, we are desperate for news. Let's see, apply a bit of common sense and logic to these things. Let's see. I like Fabrizio. I'm going to just call him out. He wants distractions. He wants the attention. He thrives on it. He knows that a lot of his fans want news, and he will be always there to provide the kick that you need every day to keep you guys going. It's like most of you are addicted, unfortunately. So the Lavia deal is there. I am not so optimistic about it. If it happens, it happens. But let's see how it goes. So the update on Declan Rice is looking like that deal might get done next week. All the reports, all the hint points to Arsenal and West Ham are very, very close and getting closer to reaching an agreement. West Ham is looking for a replacement in Paulinia of Fulham. Let's see this week, after the international break is done, we'll see massive progress on that deal. And regarding Kai Havertz, regardless of what the loud minority of fans who are against this deal think, Arteta, Edu are convinced. So if you're not convinced, that's your problem. Same fans were not convinced about Ramsdale. That you guys actually went to the level of actually casting aspersions and insulting these people personally. It's fair enough you have a difference of opinion, but you don't have to be this vicious, this inhumane because you don't like it. But that decision doesn't rest with you. You can have an opinion about you don't like a certain, and I respect it. But sorry, you don't have the final say on these deals. If Arteta, Edu are convinced, Give them benefit of the doubt. You are a fan. I'm not saying you cannot push back. I'm not saying you cannot have a different opinion on what Edu and Eta are going to do. But guess what? If they are keen on doing it, why don't you give them the chance? They know better in context of they have studied these players more. They have spoken to these players more. Give them the benefit of the doubt. Give it to them. Kai Havertz is my first choice for the false nine or quote unquote striker. But if Arteta and Edu are keen, and I've seen that he's not a bad player. Yes, he has technically flopped at Chelsea. That doesn't guarantee he's going to flop at Arsenal. We've seen it year in, year with players in different players. They can play badly at a different team. They go to another team and they flourish. So give them a chance. See, whether you like it or not, is looking closer and closer that the Kai Havertz deal is going to get done. 65 million, 60 million. Oh, it's too much for Kai Havertz. It's a piece of crap. Whether you like it or not, I'm sorry to be the bearer of bad news. It's looking like Kai Havertz will be an Arsenal player after international break. Sorry about that. And the player is actually keen. Bayern were interested. He said he doesn't want to go to Germany. He doesn't want to go to Bayern Munich. He wants to prove himself in the Premier League. And I think that's a fantastic motivation. He wants to prove his doubters wrong that he can be a quality player in the English Premiership, regardless of his fate and fortune at Chelsea. So, guys, let me know in the comment section what you think about the potential Partey exit, the potential Lavia coming in for Partey as a replacement, the Kai Havertz deal getting closer, and the Declan Rice deal getting significantly closer this coming weeks. Let me know in the comment section. Do not forget to stick a like on the video. It's very, very important for the growth of the channel and the algorithm. Subscribe if you enjoyed content. You're not subscribed. And make sure your notification bells are turned on. And I'll be seeing you guys on the next one.